My name is Mike Sudnik. I'm a lifelong actually, Dawson Creek resident, successful business owner, married with 2 kids in the schools.
Yeah, my name is Dennis Kesterke. I have lived in Dawson Creek since 1978. I have 4 daughters and 7 grandchildren that live in Dawson Creek. And I've coached minor hockey, junior hockey, and was a professional firefighter here for 30 years.
I don't know where to start. I'm born and raised in Dawson Creek. I live in the city. I have 3 kids that have been through the school system and minor hockey and figure skating, and a young one that's just starting out in that now. So one graduated and one started kindergarten this year. Born and raised. I love Dawson Creek. It's my hometown. There's a lot more to Dawson than just, a city for me. I'm passionate about it, and it's been good to me, so I want to give back to the community, and that means a lot to me, and my values and where I'm from. So,
my name first. My name is Tyrel Supernault. Tyrel Lalage Supernault. I'm born and raised in Dawson Creek. I've lived here my whole life. My grandfather was born here in 1916, one of the first European settlers here. I've owned a skate shop here for many years and helped build the skate park, and my friends and I all fought and worked very hard to get that skate park built, and that's my pride and joy.
Running for city council is not something I take lightly. My family's here, our future's here. The direction the city takes has a big impact on whether my family is a success or not, and everybody else in town as well.
I think there's a lot of issues that are out there right now that I would like to see addressed, and I don't feel that those are being addressed. And so I thought I've worked for the city and served the city for a lot of years. I also was a volunteer firefighter for 2 years before I became full-time. And muscular dystrophy was a big part of my career. I served as the president for 25 years of the Muscular Dystrophy Association here. So I just wanted to give back again to my community.
yeah, I think the main reason was just where I'm at in my life. I'm not, I've got 3 restaurants now, so I have leadership in each restaurant. So my schedule's not as busy as it used to be. I'm not living in the restaurants all the time, so I have a lot more time on my hands. And I've always been interested in it. I've always wanted to give back, and just being a by-election and a 2-year term, I just thought it was a good time to put my name forward and try it and see if I enjoy it. And I know I can contribute a lot, but I know I can learn a lot too. So the learning part and the self-development is a big part of it too. So, yeah.
I think even before it was kind of mentioned or brought up to me to actually Blair mentioned, hey, I've given up a seat. You've always been very passionate about the community. Maybe you'd like to throw your name in the hat. But my uncle Mark, I had mentioned, was the mayor of Poos. My uncles fought in the war, and then they all came back here safely, and they provided a service to the community, but also a love and passion for it. And I guess I had that as well. And it was easy when I built the skate park. I knew I wanted to do more for the community. I knew that skate park wasn't for us. At some point I was going to get too old to ride it, but we're not there yet. I knew it'd be for future generations. And, so my dream was always to cover it, actually, and to make it a safe indoor spot that no drugs, no fighting. And maybe we can incorporate PE classes from the schools. So, yeah.
Right now, I think we're being forced to kind of reevaluate how everybody operates their businesses and their lives. COVID has definitely changed a lot of things and a lot of direction that people are going. It's how they operate their business, how they operate their lives, and I think in the long term, budgets are always a huge concern, and we have to reevaluate how we're using our facilities, where we're going to get our money from, and what that future looks like long term.
Yeah, priorities. Well, I think my number 1 priority is the ongoing flooding on 17th Street, Willowbrook, 102nd Avenue. I think the city obviously has some priorities that they've been working towards, infrastructure-wise, on, let's say, 15th Street and those type of things. But I think it's time that we address this problem, and it's a major problem. And I've been approached by some of the people that live there who now can't even get insurance. And I think that we needed, as a city, to shift our priority, possibly not even paving 15th or whatever, but dealing with the water issue. So I'd like to see that dealt with immediately. The second thing is the taxation of the nonprofit. The city is looking at taxing nonprofits, i.e. the golf course. And I think that the golf course brings much more than a few tax dollars to our community. And certainly it costs the city no money. So it's run by a society, and it's almost like, why would you be taxing that? So I'm opposed to that. And I guess thirdly, I'd like to see local government and the provincial government have more conversation in regards to our hospital and the ongoing health issues that we have. I know people who have to have dialysis, that have to travel to Fort St. John. That's a major thing for them. And I don't understand this. And I don't understand why we're not standing at the door of our MLA and having more conversation. So I'd like to see that happen.
Originally there wasn't a lot, but getting into this, you hear a lot more stuff. For me, it's just really about, obviously there's a budget and understanding that and setting it up for long-term success. But more so just like protecting our quality of life and who we are and keeping a good culture in Dawson Creek. And I understand budgets, some things need to be cut, and I understand that. I understand business, and I know how to be successful at it. But I think I just have a good insight on, or an opinion, I guess, or a feeling, what I feel is right and wrong, and what's right for the people of Dawson and the community and my family. And I just feel it's a pretty common sense base for myself, and I don't get mixed up in too much other things. So.
As I mentioned before, my background is civil engineering. I'm an operator. So my real focuses would be civil projects. Like I'd mentioned, was the bridge. I'm hoping that it's $28 million. It's a 3-year project if we stay on time and on budget. I'm hoping it's not just a Band-Aid. I've lived here my whole life, and I know the water bottlenecks there, but I know it also bottlenecks up the creek and towards the golf course. So yeah, these are things I'm interested in, and snow removal contingency plans and the policies that our city has in place. I know I just seen they just put out a reviewed or updated version. So obviously things that my expertise, but also I'm interested in the budgets and how are we as a city or town going to manage these during times of COVID, or when economically we're slow due to oil field and the big sectors that are in our area. So.
Well, I actually think the services the library provides are great. I think we should be funding a library. I mean, there's a lot of resources here that people might not necessarily know that are available. And there are a lot of programs. I mean, like I said, I've got 2 kids. Both of them have been through the programs here at the library. There's distance learning, key learning help that, they've also received here at the library. And I think that, if more people knew the kind of benefits and programs that were offered at the library, it's only a positive thing. So absolutely, I support it.
Well, I think public library is an awesome service, and I think it's a great question. I think if you look at all publicly funded services that the city has, whether it be arenas, pools, or libraries, etc., each and every one of these is very important towards the mental and physical well-being of our community, and that's what we want, is a healthy community. And I think, unfortunately, for all these, the really hard question has to be asked now: how do we afford all of these? And I think there is a way to do it, but it's certainly going to take some work. And I think I'm willing and wanting to work towards retaining all of these services. I don't want to see these services disappear. I enjoy many of these services, and I know all the professionals and the people of this community, this is why they're here and do this. So I certainly will work towards keeping those in whatever way we can.
Well, after getting a tour again since I was a kid, it's actually an amazing facility, and I think it's something that's, you know, one of those amenities that you need to have in your communities, that it's good for kids and brings people together. And I mean, we read every night to our kids, and we'll now be coming here to get books. So it's awesome, and I think the more people that know about it, the more it gets used. And I'm sure it's already got a big following, so lots are. I just was maybe one of the ones in the dark a little bit about it, but yeah, no, I support it for sure, and I think it's great for the community.
Oh, well, I already told you that too. I was pumping your tires, I think, but I love it. I think it's amazing what public libraries do. Like I had mentioned, it's you know, for people who are new to the community, people who are maybe immigrating into our country and maybe are new to our area, these are places that they can come to use our computers, find books, or you know, find a place to use where you know, they can either get ahead. Maybe somebody's fallen on hard times and they don't have access to a phone or a computer. Yeah, so I think they're great, and you know, if you want to look at it in a business standpoint, for some people they might say, hey, I don't think that's a costly expenditure for our community, but as a community, and that's what I'm here for, I believe it's worth every penny. So.